Hello, welcome back to my channel Lomzy Sews. In today's sewing tutorial, I'm going to share with you guys how I made this cape top. Is it a cape top or a crop top? Anyway, a cape top with gathered V neckline. If that's what you're looking for, then continue watching till the end to see how I made this. It's very simple and it's beginner friendly. Let's start. To make this, I'll be using these two African fabrics. Please, in case you hear any noise, ignore it. It's from my background. My neighbor is building. So I'm using these two fabric. Here I have 1 yard. This is for the neck piece, and this one is the main body's fabric. So this one is 2 yards. So this is 2 yards. This is 1 yard. So let's go ahead with the sewing tutorial. So what I would do, I'll first of all cut one piece, and I will now go over to the next one. So I'm cutting the first main fabric. I'm going to use this for both the lining piece and the main body. So I'm going to cut the main bodies first, then I'll go over and cut the lining piece. So I'm going to fold it into two like this. We're making the cape first, the v-neck cape first. So I'm going to fold it like this, and I will fold it again. So now making it into 4. After folding it, it should have something like this. Can you see? So this side that is on fold is going to be for the center front and the center back. Next we are going to get is the neck width. So the neck width, all the measurements I'm going to be using already have sewing allowance to them. So if you want a sewing pattern for this, just remember that you will add or you will reduce the sewing allowance. In some cases you will reduce, in some cases you will add. So just maneuver it. But I'm working straight on fabric, so I'm going to be adding all my measurements. I have added the sewing allowance. So the neckline is 4 inches. The v-neck, for the d-neck, the depth of the v-neck is 7.5. I marked 7.5 here. For the width of the shoulder, my width is 17 inches divided by 2 will give me 8.5. I'm going to add ½ inch sewing allowance to that, which will make it 9 inches. So I'll mark it here. So you use your own shoulder width. Next, I'm going to go down to get the v-neck for the cape, the length of the v-neck. So I'm going to go down to 16.5 inches. I'll mark it here. And then I'm going to connect this line to this line. I'm connecting the v-neck to the shoulder line, and then I'm going to again connect the neck depth and the width of the neck. That way I'll get my perfect v-neck that I'm cutting. So let me go ahead and cut this. So you cut this like this to get the v-neck, and then you cut this to this. I'll just get a long ruler to connect this. At this point I couldn't find my ruler, so I just go ahead and use my tape rule to make my ruler. Guys, I just use this to define the line. Guys, how do you see Nigerian sewing tutorials? Sometimes it can be very raw, just the way it is, no cosmetics. Just imagine, my neighbors will not allow me to be great. So now for the shoulder, I'm going to drop the shoulder width to 1.5. So you drop it here like this, and you're going to connect this way. If you don't cut this, it will not relax. So I'm going to cut this out now. So I will have something that looks like this. Can you see? Yeah, so my v-neck is okay. The next thing, I'll go ahead and cut this out again, another piece for the lining piece. So for you to manage your fabric well, you're going to open out your fabric like this. Just open it out. If you open it out like this, you're going to place the one you have cut out before. That's the only way that you can also use ½ yard. In fact, I finally used ½ yard to make this. So I'll just go ahead and turn this over like this. Just manage it and place your fabric like that. So with this, you will even need ½ yard of fabric, ½ yard of designing fabric. So that's what I use for the neckline. So place it like this and cut out the lining for the neckline. Again, for interfacing, I didn't interface this. You can go ahead and interface the neck of your own, but mine, I didn't interface it. So I just go ahead and cut it. So after cutting it out, this is how it looks. Now I have 4 pieces. Can you see? So I'll go ahead and sew this here like this. So I'll sew it and come back. This is it after sewing it. Can you guys see? So I have gone ahead and basted all of them together. Can you see? Now it's thick enough. I didn't use any interfacing. V-neck cape top is ready. I'm going to go over to the bodies of the fabric. Now I have 2 yards here. Remember I told you it's 2 yards. It's either you just measure this, the 2 ways you can measure. You can do just measure this. You measure from here to here, whatever you get. Like my own is 16, you times that by 4. Whatever that is, you can times by 4 or by 3, anyhow you want to gather it, as long as it's a gathered neckline. For the details of this is a gathered cape top. If you want me to make the circle cape top, let me know in the comment section. So what I usually do is, just since I have the 2 yards, and you know African fabric comes by 45 or 46 inches, so 45 or 46 inches. Let me see what this one came by. This one came by 46 inches. Okay, so remember, by the time you take out the edges, this label, it will turn to 45. So I'm going to just fold it into 3. So just fold it into 3, which will be 15 15, just like that. Just fold it into 3 places. It will give you a long strip. So this is what I have done, like this. So this is what I'm telling you. After folding it into 3 like this, can you see I remove this and remove this on the other side too? By the time I finish, I should have 15 inches. So you see, 15 inches. So I'm just going to cut it up open on all the sides. First of all, I'm going to cut out this label so that I'll not make that mistake. So I'll cut this open. So I'll have long pieces like this. I'll just go ahead and join all of them together and then gather it and place it. And after gathering it, I'm going to go ahead and join it to the lower part. So let me do that and show you. This is it after making the gathers. You can also pleat this if you want to. So before gathering it, I went ahead and hem the lower part. So decide whether to gather it or you're going to pleat it. Anyone is okay. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to align this into the V-neck. So just use your pin and arrange it together, and you're going to pin it down on all the 4 corners, and then you go and sew it. So let me pin it and show you what I mean. When you're done pinning the 3 places, you're going to go ahead and flip it over so that you'll be able to pin the last one. That way it's easier for you to handle when you get to your machine. So I'm going to place it like this, making sure right side face the right side and wrong side facing up. So after pinning it, I'll go ahead and then sew all round. So let me do that and show you. So this is it after I was done sewing it. Can you see? Then I went ahead and overlocked this, and I have come to the end of today's sewing tutorial. Make sure you iron it properly. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.